Hello Internet, and welcome to my new Let's Play of Pokémon Blue version. And Red version, and Yellow version, and Stadium, but we'll worry about that stuff later. One step at a time. These are the games that started it all for the Pokémon series, and probably not what you'd expect as my next Pokémon Let's Play. I've been very harsh to these games in the past. I used to be in the same boat as a lot of people saying they didn't age well, or even that they were never that good to begin with, and looking back on that, wow, I disagree with myself heavily. So, these games didn't age the best, that much is definitely true. But there's a ton of charm to be found in all these games, even in just these goofy looking sprites on the title screen. This Let's Play is maybe my most ambitious project to date. There's been a lot of original notes and research put into it. But I am going to be upfront and say now that I owe a lot of ideas for presentation and structure to Chugga Conroy, as always. And you will definitely see what I mean as we get into it. But in the end, I'm making these videos to have fun, not making money off them, so yeah, I hope you'll just enjoy them as well. Let's get started. Pokémon Blue version, with Poliwag on the title screen. Right off the bat, I'm going to go into the options. We're going to set the text speed to fast, battle animation can stay on, and I actually want to play with the battle style set. Set mode is kind of weird in Generation 1, where I don't think I've ever seen anyone play with it, so that's just what I'm going to do. And let's begin. Hello there, welcome to the world of Pokémon. My name is Oak. People call me the Pokémon Prof. This world is inhabited by creatures called Pokémon. For some people, Pokémon are pets. Others use them for fights. Myself, I study Pokémon as a profession. First, what is your name? I'm not Blue, I'm not Gary, and I'm not John, but I know of people with all of those for names. My name is Winter, and I'm actually going to be going with my own name for this Let's Play. Right, so your name is Winter. This is my grandson. He's been your rival since you were a baby. What is his name again? Red, Ash, and Jack. You could probably guess, but these names are swapped between Red and Blue version, where these names would be the defaults for the player, and then the defaults for the player would be the defaults for the rival. However, I am going to be naming my rival Aiden, after my former roommate when I was living in Virginia, and somebody who's been immensely helpful for research and learning about how the competitive scene in this game works. That's right, I remember now. His name is Aiden. If you're going to refer to the rival in this Let's Play, feel free to use he, him pronouns, but if you're going to refer to the person this is named after, please use they, them pronouns. Winter, your very own Pokémon legend is about to unfold. A world of dreams and adventures with Pokémon awaits. Let's go! No, Professor Oak, those games aren't going to be released until like 2018. Welcome to Pallet Town! Winter is playing the SNES. I am playing the Super Game Boy, with the Super Game Boy colors at least. I am going to give full transparency and say I am emulating this game. Mostly just because it's the easiest way to record it, and it's the only way to record it on official hardware while getting color outside of the Super Game Boy, which I don't have a modded Super Nintendo. I have the 3DS versions of the games, but unfortunately those are in like a super washed out black and white. If you are going to play these games and you're against emulation, the 3DS version is probably your best bet. But yeah, I just kind of prefer the Super Game Boy colors. This game was designed around them, so that's what we're gonna do. Right off the bat, I already kind of did it while I was talking, but you can grab a potion out of that PC there. It's an item we'll talk about when we actually have a use for it. And downstairs. Right, all boys leave home someday, Mom. Okay, you're wrong. It said so on TV. Prof Oak next door is looking for you. It's Professor Oak, if you couldn't tell. He's Dr. Oak in Japan, though. Don't know why they changed that. There's a movie on TV. 4 boys are walking on railroad tracks. I better go too. So this is a reference to Stand By Me, which is a movie based on it's based on like a short story by Stephen King, where 4 boys walk on a railroad track to go find a dead body. Yeah, definitely a little bit outside the game's target audience. I don't know why that's the one they referenced, but it is. I'm racing Pokemon too. When they get strong, they can protect me. I don't know why you said 2, I don't have any. However, if we check the menu, we do have the Pokemon menu, we just can't open it. We can also check our trainer card. It's very simple in this game, there's no backside to it, this is all we have, but yeah. It's possible to beat this game in 0 seconds, and I already failed. Pallet Town, shades of your journey await. And, of course, the most iconic man in town. Technology is incredible! You can now store and recall items in Pokémon as data via PC. True. I'm gonna head in here. Hi, Winter. Aiden is out at Grandpa's lab. True, that's where we're off to. If we head down here, I am kind of on the fence, because we're in front of a fence and we're a tile above it, about how much I actually want to talk to people in this game. A lot of the dialogue in this game is very simple, and it feels like it was written by somebody in 2nd grade. No offense to the writers at Game Freak and Nintendo of America, but, I mean, it's a Game Boy game. I'm gonna talk to people like I normally would in a Pokemon LP, but, you know. Like, look at this. I study Pokemon as Professor Oak's aide. I study Pokemon as Professor Oak's aide. These are the same person. Professor Oak is the authority on Pokemon. Many Pokemon trainers hold him in high regard. True. Yo, Winter! Gramps isn't around! I'm not gonna give Aiden an annoying voice like that, but I had to give it to him just once. Push start to open the menu. I've done that already. The save option is on the menu screen. It's worth noting that in the 3DS version you can also press the X button to open the menu. It's encyclopedia-like, but the pages are blank. The main difference between this version and the 3DS version is that certain moves have their animations changed. There are some moves in this version that have animations that could potentially cause an epileptic seizure. I've never heard of it actually happening, but I'm just gonna say that now at the beginning of the series just to get it out of the way. Calling all Pokemon trainers. The elite trainers of Pokemon League are ready to take on all comers. Bring your best Pokemon and see how you rate as a trainer. Pokemon League HQ, Indigo Plateau. P.S. Professor Oak, please visit us. No way of knowing if he will or not. Those are Pokeballs. They contain Pokemon. They do. That's true. Anyway, I've spent maybe the longest in Pallet Town that anyone ever has in this game. We're heading out. Hey, wait! Don't go out! Where were you? It's unsafe. Wild Pokemon live in tall grass. You need your own Pokemon for your protection. I know. Here, come with me. Gramps, I'm fed up with waiting. Aiden, let me think. Oh, that's right, I told you to come. Just wait. Here, Winter. There are 3 Pokemon here. They are inside the Pokeballs. When I was young, I was a serious Pokemon trainer. In my old age, I have only 3 left, but you can have one. Choose. Hey, Gramps, what about me? Be patient. Aiden, you can have one too. So, we have an option of 3 Pokemon here. How about we go over those? If I see any comments that are annoying about this, it's getting deleted, I don't care. Before choosing your starter, it's worth talking about how stats work in this game. Before you skip, they are a little different in this game than other games, I just feel like it's worth talking about, sorry. So, obviously the HP stat is as normal, it dictates how many hits a Pokemon can take before being knocked out, 0 means a Pokemon is fainted. The attack stat dictates how much damage Pokemon will deal using physical types of attacks. Examples, normal type or fighting type are both physical types. The defense stat dictates how much damage Pokemon will take from physical types of attacks. But this is where things get weird. The special stat dictates how much damage Pokemon will deal and take from special types of attacks. For example, psychic or electric type attacks. This was split into 2 stats in future generations, but not here. This drastically changes the way a ton of Pokemon play. And lastly, the speed stat. This dictates the turn order, with faster Pokemon moving first and slower Pokemon moving last. However, in Generation 1, this is also used in the equation to determine how often a species will land a critical hit. Every Pokemon's critical hit rate is also shown on the bio separately, but this is where that comes from. This also pretty drastically changes how a lot of Pokemon play in this generation. With all that said, let's go over our starter Pokemon. And starting off here with Bulbasaur. If you prefer to play with bulkier Pokemon who are focused more so on stalling, then Bulbasaur is the Pokemon for you. Bulbasaur is especially notable for being extremely powerful in the early game. Its typing is super effective on the first 2 major bosses in the game, and it resists the types of 2 more as well. Bulbasaur won't take too long to evolve from the time when you obtain it, though I will say the only really notable move Bulbasaur will get before that point is Leech Seed. Bulbasaur will also get Vine Whip pretty early on, but at least starting off for the first while, it may feel pretty underwhelming to use. For those who are looking for a harder time in the early game, Charmander is the Pokemon for you. Charmander's whole game is that it has good mixed attacking stats, meaning it can dish out physical and special hits pretty evenly. However, Charmander will struggle a lot in the early game, being weak against the first 2 major bosses and only having a type advantage against 1 major boss in the entire game. Charmander's move pool also unfortunately doesn't do it many favors. It'll learn Ember before evolving, but until the insanely high level 46, that is the only fire-type move it has access to through normal means. And because 3 is a more satisfying number than 2, it's Squirtle! Squirtle is similar to Bulbasaur in that it's a bulkier Pokemon, but rather than using that bulk to set up status conditions and stall out its opponents, Squirtle would rather use that bulk to remain on the field firing off some pretty powerful attacks. It gets both Bubble and Water Gun as stab moves before it evolves, which actually do have separate uses. Bubble is only 20 base powered, but it also has a very specific 33.2% chance of lowering the target's speed stat, allowing Squirtle to outspeed some potential threats in the early game, while Water Gun is a 40 power move that is better for raw damage. Squirtle is overall hurt by the fact that it learns a very low variety in moves even later in the game, but I'd argue that Squirtle is probably the most consistently good starter in the game battle to battle. In the end though, this is just a matter of picking your poison. Speaking of picking your poison, I'm going to be picking Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is my personal favorite of the Generation 1 starters, and has some unique strategies that it's the most likely the best user of, at least in single player, so yeah, that's my decision. This Pokemon is really energetic. And we will give a nickname to it. But I gotta think of one. So, the name I came up with is based on an ancient Egyptian goddess who has the head of a frog. Bulbasaur is a frog with a lily on its back, I believe. So, I think it fits. It's a frog-headed goddess who personified generation, birth, and fertility. Which I think fits, considering it's the first game in the series, it's number 1 in the Pokédex, and it's a frog. It's pronounced Heket, I believe, but until I get correction on that, this may be pronounced wrong for the first few episodes of the series. I'll take this one then. Aiden received a Charmander. Alright. Not the best choice for starting her journey, but that's fine. My Pokemon looks a lot stronger. Okay, buddy. If a wild Pokemon appears, your Pokemon can fight against it. Okay. What's this? Encyclopedia-like, but the pages are blank. So it's a book. Good to know. Surely that isn't contradicted by anything. Wait, Winter! Let's check out our Pokemon! Come on, I'll take you on! And right away we have our first battle with Aiden. Who's leading with Charmander, level 5 fire type, knowing the move Scratch and Growl. Do I really need to go over these movesets? One thing I do want to say is whenever a starter Pokemon starts with Scratch and Growl for its moves, it always reminds me of the old Sonic cartoon, and specifically Dr. Robotnik saying, Scratch! Grounder! Because, come on, it sounds like Scratch. I'm not crazy. I'm correct on this one, actually. If you don't hear that, then you're wrong. So, your best bet for this battle is just to spam the hell out of the A button and hope your Bulbasaur stats are good enough to actually win. That goes for if you're choosing Charmander or Squirtle, too. Now, we're at low health. One more turn and we lose this battle, which is where this potion comes in. Potions restore 20 HP to any Pokemon. Generally, I try to avoid using items too much in battle. That definitely didn't go for my previous Let's Play where I won a lot of battles because of items, but I'm going to be trying to use some harder self-imposed rules for this Let's Play. Not necessarily, like, religiously following them. This isn't a Nuzlocke or anything, but, you know, just to make it a little more challenging, because Generation 1 is not the hardest Pokemon has ever been. There we go. We won our first battle. Nice experience points, Aket. What? Unbelievable! I picked the wrong Pokemon! Okay, I'll make my Pokemon fight to toughen it up. Winter, Gramps, smell you later! And there he goes. Winter, raise your young Pokemon by making it fight. As whatever you say, old man. In another world. A trainer named Red wanders into the tall grass. Hey, wait! Don't go out! That was close. Wild Pokemon live in tall grass. Phew. A Pokemon can appear anytime in tall grass. You need your own Pokemon for your protection. I know. Here, come with me. Gramps, I'm fed up with waiting. Blue, why are you here already? I said for you to come by later. Ah, whatever. Just wait there. Look, Red, do you see that ball on the table? It's called a Pokeball. It holds a Pokemon inside. You may have it. Go on, take it. Hey, Gramps, what about me? Be patient, Blue. I'll give you one later. Huh. I'll get a better Pokemon than you. No way, Red! I want this Pokemon! Blue, what do you think you're doing? Gramps, I want this one! But Oh, alright then. That Pokemon is yours. I was going to give you one anyway. Red, come over here. Red, this is the Pokemon I caught earlier. You can have it. I caught it in the wild, and it's not tame yet. So, in yellow version, we are stuck with Pikachu, who sounds very apathetic. And Pikachu is somewhat unique in yellow version, so it will be getting a unique bio. Unfortunately, Pikachu is not very good. Pikachu is unable to evolve at all in Pokemon Yellow, meaning you are stuck with the stats you see here for life unless you trade it to a different game. This is only made worse by the fact that there are no held items in Generation 1, meaning the Light Ball won't even serve to increase Pikachu's special attack. Otherwise, the main difference with Pikachu in Yellow is that it can learn Thunderbolt through level up at level 26. We'd be able to teach Pikachu Thunderbolt much earlier than this anyway, but learning it through level up does increase the possibilities for moves on other Pokemon we catch along the adventure. It's not great, but it is at least faster than a lot of other Pokemon and can get off Thunder Wave or Light Screen pretty fast as a result. Anyway, I think you know where this is going. Wait, Red, let's check out our Pokemon! Come on, I'll take you on! Blue wants to fight. He's going to lead with Eevee. Level 5, normal type, knowing the moves Tackle and Tail Whip. That doesn't remind me of Scratch and Grounder. So, Pikachu does have a bit of a better thing going on right off the bat, because it does have a move with the same type attack bonus as soon as you get it. And not only that, but its move with the same type attack bonus is Thunder Shock, meaning it can paralyze the opponent. It has, I believe, like a 30% chance to do so. Some moves have weirdly specific chances of inflicting their status conditions. I know a lot of moves have like a 33.2% chance. But I'm pretty sure Thunder Shock is just a standard 30%. This Eevee could kill us with one more tackle, but we're faster, so I'm not that worried about it. Goodbye, Eevee. And Pikachu learned Tail Whip, which we have no use for right now. What? Unbelievable! I picked the wrong Pokémon! Okay, I'll make my Pokemon fight to toughen it up. Red, Gramps, smell you later. What? Would you look at that? It's odd, but it appears that your Pikachu dislikes Pokeballs. You should just keep it with you. That should make it happy. You can talk to it and see how it feels about you. How do you feel, Pikachu? Me too, honestly. So, we can just talk to Pikachu occasionally, see how Pikachu's feeling. This is the main thing that was changed about Yellow, is that Pikachu follows you around. Pokemon Yellow is pretty obviously made to be very referential to the anime, which is why I kind of struggled between deciding whether I wanted to name the player character Red or Ash or whatever. I decided on Red just for continuity reasons in a future Let's Play, but, you know, it's supposed to be Ash, but it's also supposed to be Red. Game Freak is weird. With that, we have our starter Pokemon, and we can officially leave if we want to. But first, if we head back into our house and talk to Mom. Winter, you should take a quick rest. Oh good, you and your Pokemon are looking great. Take care now. Your mom will heal your Pokemon to full health at any time. It's good to have a place to come back to do that, because you can get beaten up pretty bad on this first route. Welcome to Route 1, Pallet Town to Viridian City. We are officially on the road to Viridian City. Hi, I work at a Pokemon Mart. It's a convenient shop, so please visit us in Viridian City. I know, I'll give you a sample. Here you go. It will replace that potion from the first battle, and if you didn't use the potion, you probably lost, but that doesn't actually matter. That just means you have 2 potions now, but your Bulbasaur or Squirtle or Charmander is just 1 level lower. You're guaranteed to level up from that first battle, so yeah. We have our first example of a wild Pokemon. We can fight this for experience, or we can simply run away. Running away is sort of complicated. It's mostly determined by your Pokemon's speed versus the opposing Pokemon's speed. But there's more to it than that. It's just a lot to go over. There are only 2 Pokemon that can appear on Route 1 in either game that we're covering here, so yeah, I'm probably going to be cutting out a lot of encounters here, just because since we can't catch Pokemon yet, I have no reason to go over them, so yeah. I do want to battle most of the wild Pokemon I encounter, just so I can stay up in the levels, but not really a reason to show every single battle. Pidgey knowing Gust early may seem scary, but Generation 1 is weird. A lot of moves that would be like flying or ground type in the future are just normal type in Generation 1. Just something I have thoughts on that we'll go over later. Anyway, here we are in Viridian City. We're going to start by heading right into the Pokemon Center. Which, speaking of which, welcome to the Pokemon Center. There's a Pokemon Center in every town ahead. They don't charge any money either. That's true. Pokemon Centers are pretty much identical to Mom's house. They'll heal your Pokemon for free, and they're just a good place to take a rest if you've been playing for a while. This is generally where you save your game. Pokemon Centers heal your tired, hurt, or fainted Pokemon. They just did that. Thank you. You can use that PC in the corner. The receptionist told me. So kind. Welcome to the Cable Club. We're making preparations. Please wait. Can't do anything there yet, but we will be showing that later. We also have the PC here. We now have access to someone's PC. However, we can't do anything with it because we only have one Pokemon, so we'll come back to that later. Alright. We're gonna head north right away to head into this building. This is a trainer school of sorts. Whew, I'm trying to memorize all my notes. Look to the notebook. First page. Pokeballs are used to catch Pokemon. Up to 6 Pokemon can be carried. People who raise and make Pokemon fight are called Pokemon trainers. Alright. Second page. A healthy Pokemon may be hard to catch, so weaken it first. Poison, burns, and other damage are quite effective. Turn the page, of course. Third page. Pokemon trainers seek others to engage in Pokemon fights. Battles are constantly fought at Pokemon gyms. Okay, why are you, like, writing a little bit on each page and then turning it? Fourth page. The goal for Pokemon trainers is to beat the top 8 Pokemon gym leaders. Do so to I'm being bad at reading. To earn the right to face the Elite Four of Pokemon League. Hey, don't look at my notes! So that "hey, don't look at my notes" line is a recurring theme in Pokemon games, and I'm not sure when it stopped, but I miss it. Because it's something that I feel like only I ever really looked at, but it's just cute. Okay, be sure to read the blackboard carefully. The blackboard describes Pokemon's status changes during battle. But I don't need any damn blackboard, I can go over this myself. Sleep, you cannot move for 1 to 7 turns. Burn, it drops your attack stat by 50% and inflicts 1/16 of damage to your HP every turn. Attack drop can't be recovered without switching, even if the burn is healed, unless a move like Swords Dance is used. Freeze, you can't move until you're hit by any fire-type move other than Fire Spin, or until an Ice Heal or Full Heal is used, making this basically a one-hit KO in Generation 1. Poison, inflicts damage equal to 1 HP every turn. Wrong, 1/16. And also inflicts 1 HP of damage every 4 steps outside of battle. And Paralysis, your speed drops to 25% and you cannot attack a quarter of the time. Speed drop can't be recovered without switching, even if the paralysis is healed unless a move like Agility is used, blah blah blah, same as Burn except for speed. And it doesn't hurt you every turn at least. Alright, that's all we can learn here. We're going to head this way now. Yeah, we're gonna head this way. Hey, you came from Pallet Town? You know Prof. Oak, right? His order came in. Will you take it to him? There we go, we got his parcel. Okay, say hi to Professor Oak for me. I had no f***ing clue what parcel meant when I was a kid. No, potions are all sold out. We can't buy anything yet. This shop sells many antidotes. That's good, I guess. With that received, what do you want? You want to know about the 2 kinds of caterpillar Pokemon? No. Oh, okay then. Wow, very respectful of your time. But I do, actually. Caterpie has no poison, but Weedle does. Watch out for its poison sting. We'll have to watch out for that. Although we're playing blue version, so we're at a lot less risk of that. Red version players, you're out of luck. You gotta watch out for that poison sting. With that, actually there was one more thing I wanted to show in Viridian City and I forgot, so I guess I'm fighting one more Pokemon. If we head north of the trainer school, I meant to show this after grabbing the parcel. You can't go through here! This is private property! Oh, Grandpa, don't be so mean. He hasn't had his coffee yet. Yeah, that explains it. Couldn't guess in the Japanese version of the game he is drunk. Anyway, let's head back to Pallet Town now, for real this time. Heading on this side of the route, there's a bunch of cliffs we can jump down. They make them look very small, but I remember seeing somewhere that these are a lot bigger than they actually look. I don't remember where I remember that from, but I do remember it from somewhere. Anyway, we're already back to Pallet Town. Luckily didn't run into anything in the tall grass at the entrance. Oh, Winter! How's my old Pokémon? Well, it seems to like you a lot. You must be talented as a Pokémon trainer. What? You have something for me? There you go. Ah, this is the custom Pokeball I ordered. Thank you. Gramps! What did you call me for? Oh, right, I have a request of you two. On the desk there is my invention, Pokédex. It automatically records data on Pokémon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. Winter and Aiden, take these with you. Got a Pokédex from Oak. To make a complete guide on all the Pokémon in the world. That was my dream. But I'm too old, I can't do it. So I want you two to fulfill my dream for me. Get moving, you two. This is a great undertaking in Pokémon history. Alright, Gramps, leave it all to me. Winter, I hate to say it, but I don't need you. I know, I'll borrow a town map from my sis. I'll tell her not to lend you one, Winter. Ha 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 ha! Just like that. Pokémon around the world wait for you, Winter. You sure do. Except that poor Squirtle. He'll never be chosen by anyone. So, with that done, we want to head in here and talk to Aiden's sister. Grandpa asked you to run an errand. Here, this will help you. Got a town map. Use the town map to find out where you are. So this girl, she doesn't have an official name in the game that's ever stated, as far as I know at least. In the manga and future Pokemon games, her name is Daisy, Daisy Oak. This is Blue, technically, that's his canon name's older sister. And in the manga, she is a scientist who takes after Professor Oak, but I've seen a lot of fan works that depict her as a cartographer, as a result of her being the one who gives out town maps and the fact that she has another town map on the wall. She has a lot of town maps. You don't typically buy a lot of maps unless you're a traveler or a cartographer. In which case, I guess you're making the maps, but you know what I mean. Let's head back to Viridian City. Bulbasaur grew to level 7 from that battle and learned Leech Seed. I'm going to be putting little notes on screen every time we learn a move so you can see exactly what they do. Because this game doesn't actually have a menu for you to check what moves do. Leech Seed is a very good move, especially to be learned so early, and it is going to be a part of Haket's final moveset. But, you know, I can't memorize what all of these moves do because they change so often. Especially between Generation 1 and 2, that is when the most moves had their effects changed. Back in Viridian City, gonna head right back into the Pokemon Center and heal real quick, and then we're going to take a look at the Pokédex because I just realized I forgot to actually take a look at it before leaving. So, the Pokédex. We can see all the Pokemon that we've seen, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Pidgey, and Rattata, and there's a Pokeball mark next to every Pokemon we've caught. We can listen to their cry, and see where we can find them. Bulbasaur and Charmander can't be found anywhere in the Kanto region, but, you know, it's fine. We can also check their data. I didn't check this when we got Bulbasaur, because I just skipped through it. So Bulbasaur is the seed Pokemon. A strange seed was planted on its back at birth. The plant sprouts and grows with this Pokemon. It's true. If we check a Pokemon we haven't caught, we can't see any data about it, but don't worry, we're going to be completing the Pokédex in this Let's Play. Because of course, I needed to add on even more work for myself. With all that done, we got our first Pokemon in 2 separate worlds. We had our first rival battle in 2 separate worlds. We got the Pokédex in 2 separate worlds, although we only saw that in 1 world. Next time on Pokemon, Generation 1, or whatever I'm calling this Let's Play. I still haven't decided at the time of making episode 1. I really don't know what to call this one. But next time, we'll be continuing on in our journey, starting to explore around Viridian City and seeing what there is in the immediate area. See you guys then. Wait, just a sec before the end screen, hold on. The nurse has a different sprite in Pokemon Yellow to be based on Nurse Joy from the anime, and also she has a Chansey next to her to be based on Nurse Joy from the anime. Anyway, see you guys next time.